Welcome back, folks. This is MTG Burgeoning here, and this is our continuing kitchen table series where we examine a deck with which I've had some success with at the kitchen table. This is deck tech number 8 of the series. We're already 8 videos strong into this kitchen table series. And if you've been following along, we started off with 5 monocolor decks, and then we moved to allied colored pairings, beginning with Azorius Sphinxes, and then most recently, a Dimir Megrim deck. And in today's deck, we're going back to tribal theme, and we are going to discuss a Rakdos Minotaur deck. That's right, folks, Rakdos Minotaur deck. And let me use a disclaimer right now. Unfortunately, at this moment, Seth Ron is not in this deck. We want him in here. He's going to find his way in there. We just have to make him available. For the time being, this is MTG Burgeoning's Rakdos Minotaur deck. Let's start with our mana base. And we're going to start with 8 basic swamps. There we go. Not too much fanfare there. 8 basic swamps. 4 basic mountains. 4 copies, 1 playset of the Unheralded Tainted series from Torment, Tainted Peak. It taps for a colorless, but if we control a swamp, it can tap for a black or a red. And lastly, we have 1 playset of the Rakdos Checkland Dragon Skull Summit. Enters the battlefield tapped unless we control a swamp or a mountain. Tap for a black or a red. 1 playset. Now, a disclaimer with the mana base. It would be a lot smoother if we were able to substitute some of the basic lands for some blood crypts or for some smoldering marshes. Those would be much more beneficial in trying to smooth out the mana base, because we do have, a need for balance in the coloring, and we could do a lot better with the lands that we have there. But like I said, this is just for the kitchen table. This isn't anything that's going to be ridiculously competitive. With mana bases on mind, let's turn our attention to 1 playset of Dark Ritual. Remember, this is kitchen table, folks, so we can throw in a playset of Dark Rituals. No problem. And if we're going to throw in Dark Rituals, we might as well throw in, that's right, Soul Ring a Ding Dong. So, turn 1 swamp, Dark Ritual, Soul Ring. Oh boy, does that feel fun. Okay, so that's our mana base. Lands, Dark Ritual, and a Soul Ring. Let's move to some Minotaurs now. And let's begin with our general, our lord, our captain, the Rageblood Shaman. 2/3 trample for 1 and 2 red. Other Minotaur creatures we control get +1/+1 and have trample. Playset. 4 copies, Rageblood Shaman. Next up is a playset of our only current legendary Minotaur, and that's going to be Neheb the Worthy. 1, a black and a red. 2/2 first strike. Other Minotaurs we control have first strike. And as long as we have 1 or fewer cards in our hand, Minotaurs we control get +2/+0. And whenever Neheb the Worthy deals combat damage to a player, each player discards a card. Playset. Next up, the Ragemonger. 1, a black and a red for a 2/3 Minotaur that has Minotaur spells we cast cost black and red less to cast. This effect reduces only the amount of colored mana we pay. But that's great. Look at that. 2 red, a black and a red, 4 copies of the Ragemonger. Next up, the Fanatic of Mogis. For 3 and a red, we have a 4/2 Minotaur Shaman. When it enters the battlefield, it deals damage to each opponent equal to our devotion to red. 4 copies, Fanatic of Mogis. And our last Minotaur, bringing our total count of Minotaurs up to 20, is the Kragma Warcaller. 3, a black and a red. Minotaur creatures we control have haste, and whenever a Minotaur we control attacks, it gets +2/+0 till end of turn. One play set of the Kragma Warcaller. Now you will notice that our Minotaurs are not exactly going to be a cheap costing tribe. We have 12 3-drop Minotaurs, and then a 4-drop with the Fanatic of Mogis, and then a 5-drop with the Kragma Warcaller. Hence the Dark Rituals, hence the Soul Ring. Additionally, as a way in which to get these creatures into play a little more quickly for the ones that don't cost 3, or for the potential of mana fixing, we are including, get ready for it, you know it's coming if it's in a Minotaur deck, it's the Didgeridoo. For a casting cost of 1, we put this into play, and then we can tap 3, and we can put a Minotaur from our hand right into play. Just 3. It's just a 3 colorless. 2 copies of the Didgeridoo. And that's going to go front and center right there, the Didgeridoo. So in understanding that it's going to take a little while for us to get some of our Minotaurs in play because the cheapest ones cost 3 CMC, we need to pack some removal into our deck. And in so doing, here comes a play set of Lightning Bolt. 3 damage, any target for 1 red. That's an easy include of a playset. 4 copies of Lightning Bolt right into the deck. Not right there, though. Right there's good. And a playset of Terminate. Black and a red, destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. Love that it says target creature and not target non-black creature. 4 copies of Terminate. With only a few copies left, with only a few cards left in the deck, we are going to turn our attention to a little bit of recursion, because if we're playing tribal, we have to expect there to be some kind of board wipes that we're going to run into. And what better way to bring back our Minotaurs than casting Living Death? Each player exiles all creature cards from his or her graveyard, then sacrifices all creatures he or she controls, then puts all cards he or she exiled this way onto the battlefield. Works as recursion, works as our own board wipe against our opponents. 3 copies, Living Death. Interchangeable with Living Death, minus the potential for board wiping our opponent's creatures, Patriarch's Bidding would work very well as well. And that brings us to the last of our Rakdos Minotaur deck. Deathbellow Warcry. For 5 and triple red, I know, that's pricey, but let's see what it does. We search our library for up to 4 Minotaur creature cards with different names and put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle our library. We've got the ramp with the Dark Rituals. We got the ramp with the Soul Ring. It would be a better idea to mana fix our lands better by swapping out some of the basics and putting more dual lands in so that we can meet that triple red requirement. 2 copies of Deathbellow Warcry. And for the time being, when we do cast Deathbellow Warcry, we are most likely going to seek out Fanatic of Mogis, the Kragma Warcaller, the Rageblood Shaman, and if there isn't one on the battlefield already, a Neheb the Worthy. Fanatic comes in, and with the devotion count being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's going to deal 5 damage to each opponent. And then we're able to attack, because all Minotaurs have haste with the Kragma Warcaller. They're all getting trampled from the Rageblood Shaman. If we have 1 or less cards in our hand, and the Neheb gives them +2/+0, the Rageblood Shaman gives them +1/+1, and the Kragma Warcaller gives them +2/+0 whenever a Minotaur attacks. That is MTG Burgeoning's Rakdos Minotaur deck. Let's shuffle it up, and let's take it for a play test. All right, folks, you saw the deck tech. Now let's play test it. Got some Rakdos Minotaurs. Who doesn't want to play with a deck that has a Didgeridoo in it? Or, in the case of this deck, multiple copies of Didgeridoo. Again, this is MTG Burgeoning's Kitchen Table Series. This is Deck Tech number 8. We're 8 videos into this series, and we are going to keep going, folks. There's no stopping on the horizon. Alright, so on a quick little play test, let's give this deck a whirl. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, Dark Ritual, beautiful. Ooh, the Death Bellow Warcry. That triple red is a little tough, especially when we're seeing nothing but black. There's a little bit of red. Neheb is in. Didgeridoo. Ooh, that's a lot of mana. Alright, let's give it a whirl to see what not to do with the deck. Alright, turn 1. Terminates. Alright, so we drop down a swamp. Turn 2, we draw. Drop down a Dragon Skull Summit, and I think it's safe to think that we'll terminate something. So that's gone. Turn 3, minimally we're going to get Neheb out there. Oh, 2 of those in our hand, that could be tough. That could be, we just need a couple of draws. Alright, so let's tap 3. We'll throw Neheb out there. 2/2 first strike. Other Minotaurs that we control have first strike. We don't have fewer than 1 or less cards, so we'll wait on that. Turn 4 coming, and the Rage Blood Shaman. But we need another red. Duh. Alright. Swamp in. Nothing. We cast nothing. Turn 5. Alright, well there's our red. So there's our 1, 2... 3. There's our Rage Blood Shaman, giving our other Minotaurs +1/+1 and trample. Okay, give us a red source. Just give us a red source, baby. There it isn't. That's not a terrible card to draw, however. All right, so let's go. We'll go 4, 5. We'll throw out the Kragma Warcaller. Minotaurs we control have haste. Whenever a Minotaur we control attacks, +2/+0. That's not bad at all. If we can get rid of some cards, we're swinging for some pretty lethal damage. I mean, we're 6 turns into the game. We've only got 3 creatures. We haven't really done a ton. This might not be a favorable outcome, unless on this last turn 7 we can draw a red source. Red source is in. Nice. There we go. So what we do is we'll cast our Dark Ritual for 3. Then we'll go 4, 5, and then 3 red for a total of 8. And we are going to cast a Death Bellow Warcry. Took us till turn 7. We could have done a lot better. That was just the luck of the land. So we're going to search our library for up to 4 Minotaur creature cards with different names. It's not going to be hard to pick from the cards that are in this deck already. So let's see what we're going to go for. So we got a Fanatic of Mogus. We've already got a Neheb out there, but maybe we can forego the different names. So there's a Ragemonger. There's a Kragma Warcaller. And you better believe we're going to grab a Rage Blood Shaman. So those will be our 4. Leaving the Neheb in there because we've already got him. He's a legendary, so we don't want to bring another one into play. So, Fanatic of Mogus, Ragemonger, Kragma Warcaller, and another Rage Blood Shaman. This should be enough for us to win the game outright. Fanatic of Mogus is going to come in with its Devotion of Red being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's going to deal 9 to each opponent. And each of our Minotaurs are getting +2/+2 on trample statically from the Rage Blood Shamans. And whenever we begin to, when we move to combat, from the 2 Kragma Warcallers, each of our Minotaurs are going to get +4/+0. Plus, we have only 1 card in our hand. So Minotaurs are going to get +2/+0 from Neheb. So minimally, when we swing with all 7 Minotaurs, 2, 4, 6, each one's getting +8 on the power, and they're all trample. So the smallest one is going to be 10, so that should be a victory. Now, granted, again, it took us till turn 7. That is because we had so many basic swamps in our opening hand. If we were to take those basic swamps, maybe turn them into some blood crypts, turn them into the, what is the black and red BFZ land? Smoldering Marsh, I think is that what it is? The black and the red? Well, let's shuffle it up and play test it again. Okay, so let's shuffle this up. Did some off-camera shuffling. If the lands would have fallen right on that first play testing, we could have cast that war cry a lot sooner. And we most likely would have been able to close out the game right there. Having the Dark Ritual, like I need to even verbalize it, is such a huge advantage. Well, duh, right? Alright, so let's do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, that's the one we want to see in our opening hand. Ooh, that was a good one. Okay. Oh, Soul Ring. Come on, didgeridoo. Come on. Ooh, there we go, baby. And, alright, that's not terrible. That's not terrible at all. Alright. Let's get our turn counter. Here is turn number 1. Dark Ritual. Boy, oh boy. Where are we going to go with this? Alright. We're going to go turn 1 Soul Ring, that's for sure. Turn 1 Soul Ring. Untap. Turn 2 we draw Lightning Bolt. Okay. We play a swamp. And we are just going to go tap that for 2 with 1 floating. We're going to play a Ragemonger. And then with that 1 floating, we're going to cast a second Ragemonger. Which means next turn we can cast our Rageblood Shaman for just 1 colorless mana. That was on turn 2. Here we go, turn 3, we draw. That's a great card to draw for us. This is going to be great. Okay, so we'll tap our Soul Ring for 2 colorless mana, casting a Rageblood Shaman and a Neheb the Worthy. And let's say, yeah, let's Lightning Bolt something so that we have 1 card in our hand, giving our Minotaurs +2/+0. And let's see, we will declare combat, and we're going to attack on turn 3 with a quick 10 trample to someone. Okay, come back to our turn. We're untapping. This is turn 4. Things are looking very nice. And we draw another Terminate. Not another Terminate, we got to Terminate last turn. So let's just say we're going to tap a red, and we tap a black. We Terminate something. Alright, so we're just going to tap, we'll just send everything, right? I mean, we got 1 card in our hand. So each one of our Minotaurs is getting +2, 4, 5. So each one has 5 power. Assuming that Neheb deals some damage, we'll discard. You see, whenever Neheb the Worthy deals combat damage to a player, each player discards a card. So we'll discard our Dark Ritual. We're sending a total of 20 trampling damage on turn 4. And just for the purposes of, let's see what ends up happening, we move to turn 5. We draw a mountain. And that is playtest number 2. Alright, so let's shuffle up and play it out again. Second one was much quicker than the first. Those Rageblood Shamans are just nice. Just nice. Just reducing the cost by black and a red. And then having 2 of them out there? Oh my goodness. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Neheb. Swamp. There's our didgeridoo. Come on, Dark Ritual, Fanatic of Mogus, and a Terminate. Not a bad opening hand. Let's get our trusty old turn counter. Turn number 1, Dark Ritual. Okay, Tainted Peak. Let's go Swamp into the didgeridoo. Whoosh. Okay, turn number 2. We draw Lightning Bolt. All right, not bad. Play a Tainted Peak. And let's just say we end up lightning bolting something around the turns. We move to turn 3. We draw a card. Another Terminate. That's nice. Play that. We'll let the turns pass. And then at the end step of our last opponent, we'll didgeridoo in Neheb. Turn 4, we draw. Swamp. Play that. With 2 Terminates in our hand, we're just going to want to sit back and see what happens. Let's say nothing happens. End step of our last opponent, let's tap 3 and let's throw out a Fanatic of Mogus. And we'll deal 2 damage to each opponent. Not great, but we don't have much else in our hand other than some removal. We move to turn 5. Darn, play another land. Clear the way. This will terminate a couple of creatures, giving our guys +2/+0. Swing. We'll move to turn 6. Draw. There's our Dark Ritual, which we needed earlier, but we're mana flooded. Not sure how that one would turn out, folks. Alright, so let's go through one more play testing. The last one, still trying to see if we can just get that dream draw. You can get a Minotaur out on turn 1. Just need that Swamp, a Dark Ritual, Soul Ring, the didgeridoo, and we got it. Terminate. Ooh, our haste guy. Alright. Come on, let's get some lands. Give us some real estate. Oh, I don't like where this is going. Oh, this is terrible. That's an absolute mulligan. Don't even have to think about it. At least it's nice when you know. I mean, he could have been sitting there on the fence with 2 lands in hand, and the smallest thing is 3 with a Terminate, and it's like, oh, should we risk it? Can we draw at least a land and then 3 or 4 turns into the game and you haven't drawn a land? Hurts. It hurts a lot. Oh. Okay. So we're putting 1 back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lightning Bolt, Neheb, hello lands. Oh, what the heck? Oh, seriously? Alright, let's do it. We'll put 1 back. We'll put the Lightning, or the Living Death back. Let's get lucky and say turn 1. We're going to draw a mountain. Hand of 6. Come on, let's make this last one look good. Mountain. Oh, I had to be the one with the double red. Oh, yikes. Alright, Dragon Skull Summit. Alright, there's our mountain. Not terrible. Lightning Bolt something immediately. Move to turn 3. Draw a card. There we go. That's not terrible. Let's say Neheb's out. Turn 4. There we go. Now things are working out well. Tap 3. We'll throw out a Rage Blood Shaman, and we'll Lightning Bolt something. Oh, we can't Lightning Bolt something. Ooh, let's play by the rules, folks. Let's play by the rules. Turn 5. We've only got 2 guys in play. There's another red and black. So we can Lightning Bolt a couple targets, triggering the Neheb to go +2/+0. Let's send it. So we've got 5, 4, 9 trample. Discard our card. Let's untap. It's turn 6. We draw another Rage Blood Shaman. Alright, that went from looking disastrous to maybe eking something out. Alright folks, this is MTG Burgeoning, and this is the Friday Kitchen Table series, and today we play tested and we examined Rakdos Minotaurs. One day in the future, Sethron will enter into this deck. He's just too good not to. For the time being, this is MTG Burgeoning, folks. Go forth and enjoy your day. Want to become a Pack Wars combatant? 4 easy steps. Step number 1. Click on the link below in the description or go to www.buymeacoffee.com/MTGBurgeoning. Step number 2. Select either membership or support. Membership will enroll you into Pack Wars for $5 each month. Support will cost $5 for 1 month. Step number 3, complete payment information. The name you use will appear on the site. Use your real name, use your YouTube handle, or use no name at all and be anonymous. Be sure to include your email address in the information. Step number 4, most importantly, prepare for war.